Well, hello, it's Get Your Life Back. Let's talk about sleep. It all starts with sleep. But this is an important month. The month of May is Maternal Wellness Month. And I want to talk about an important topic that is all about postpartum mood disorders. So I want to share some statistics that is demonstrating how postpartum mood disorders are affecting moms all around the globe. So, first of all, before we start really talking about this and using the terms like maternal wellness mood disorders or postpartum mood disorders, people often just said, oh, she's got the baby blues. And there's this feeling like she'll get over it. She'll be fine. It's just the baby blues. So let's talk about what the baby blues really are and how that's truly defined so we can take the stigma out of that first. The baby blues are defined as 85% of women in the first 2 to 3 weeks post-birth will have increased sensitivity, emotionality, irritability, and it only lasts for 2 to 3 weeks post-birth, and it resolves without treatment. So what was normal, meaning for 85% of women, they have the baby blues for 2 to 3 weeks past birth, and there's this heightened sensitivity and irritability and overwhelm. But it resolves on its own, and the mother would typically recover and start to feel more like herself. Where the baby blues cross over into postpartum depression and anxiety is when none of it resolves and the mother is still suffering. So let me tell you this, that postpartum depression and anxiety affects 20% of all mothers, and it can extend well beyond the first year post-birth. So that's another misperception, is that my baby's already 12 or 13 or 15 months of age and I still feel not myself. It just must be that I'm not good at motherhood, or it just must be I'm stressed out, or it just must be that I'm overwhelmed. Because you think you're out of this timeline where you could still be experiencing postpartum mood disorder. Or you think you're out of this baby blues timeline and it's just something that you have to deal with, that like you're just, it's hard to be a mother for you. But I want to help with this conversation because I see it all the time. Over 10 years of working with mothers, I'm working with mothers that have had a baby 2 months, post-birth to 6 years post-birth. And we talk about birth and how those first months of postpartum were, and all through that first year if they have an older child. And, in asking them a lot of questions, it becomes evident that they had actually either been misdiagnosed or not diagnosed at all, or were suffering in silence. Because again, 20% of moms will experience postpartum depression and anxiety or other mood disorders. It is actually one of the first, the number one birth complication is this postpartum depression and anxiety. And then the sad thing is that 75% of women that are actually screened or are at risk receive no treatment. So that's also really disturbing to me, that you could actually be lucky enough to have a conversation with a provider. They determine that you are experiencing this and you probably need support, but then the support never comes. Because without support, it's very difficult to get up and out of postpartum mood disorders. And consequently, what they found in terms of statistics is unfortunately that 1 in 5 women experience mental health or substance abuse disorders during pregnancy or postpartum, often because it's gone untreated, right? So now you have a secondary issue. So I want to just have this conversation so that we can help each other, right? So that if you are a mom and you're listening to this and you're thinking, oh my gosh, that's me, I want you to ask for help. Or if you're listening to this and you're thinking, oh my gosh, that's happening to my friend or my sister or my aunt, let's get them the help that they need. And I'm going to be in my notes and everything, going to be supplying some additional resources. But I want to talk about what the signs are, because again, there's still a little bit misunderstanding of what the signs are for postpartum mood disorders, which includes depression and anxiety. And I should tell you that a woman with postpartum depression looks and acts very different than a woman with postpartum anxiety. And what I'm seeing in my practice more these days, especially during year of COVID, is more postpartum anxiety, which is different than depression. Anxiety is the checking and the double checking and the not being able to sleep and the baby's not sleeping and things like that. So let me read some of this. So feeling sad and depressed or crying a lot, intense anxiety, rumination, or obsessions. I hope you guys don't mind I'm reading, because I don't know all these off the top of my head. I want to make sure to get you accurate information. Loss of interest in usual activities. Feelings of guilt, worthlessness, or incompetence. I see that one a lot. The mothers have really just lost their confidence in themselves. They're feeling tremendous guilt about everything. Guilt about how they're mothering, guilt about how they're not mothering, guilt about how they're responding to their spouse, guilt about their work, guilt about the housework, guilt about if they call their mother back. They're feeling guilt up and down in every element of their life, and it's relentless and it's exhausting for them, right? We all know how exhausting guilt can be. Fatigue, irritability, or sleep disturbances. So a lot of times families come to me because their all the time, they come to me because their babies aren't sleeping. And then we get the baby sleeping and the mom assumes, oh my gosh, well, if I can just get my baby sleeping, then I can get to sleep. Well, we find that sometimes a month later, like the baby's sleeping beautifully, like we've resolved all the issues. They're so happy, they can't believe it. And yet the mom still isn't able to sleep. And that's when it's like, wow, that postpartum depression anxiety has been hiding. It's been underneath there all along, but we were so distracted with all these other changes in our life and becoming a mother that we weren't able to identify that piece of it. So that's why sleep coaching can be such a massive benefit, is because oftentimes we think it's just the baby is causing the distress to the mother because the mother isn't sleeping because the baby's not sleeping. But in fact, that's a problem as well. But then there's this postpartum depression anxiety that's hiding out. Another thing to be looking for is change in appetite. So eating more, eating less. Poor concentration. So we often think, oh, I just have mommy brain. Not necessarily, right? Feeling inadequate to cope with the new infant. Again, this circles back to this feeling of guilt, worthlessness, or incompetence. Excessive worry about baby's health. That's kind of what I would qualify the checking. Like you're always wondering, like, is my baby breathing? Is my baby swallowing? Is my baby eating enough? Is my baby, does my baby have a rash? Does he have a fever? Like there's this constant worry that something terrible is happening. And then of course, suicidal thoughts. A lot of people that think of postpartum depression and anxiety, they think, oh, you have to be that bad. You have to be that bad that you're having suicidal thoughts before you would ever go ask for help. But in fact, that's not true at all, because you can see that was the last one I read. Look at all the other things that were happening beforehand. So what do we do? What do we do if you're feeling this way? What do we do if someone you know is feeling this way? First of all, if the baby's not sleeping and the mom is experiencing some of these, we've got a double problem. Oftentimes sleep deprivation can trigger postpartum depression anxiety, or it can impact it and make it worse. So if you're having a dual issue, definitely reach out to a sleep coach. Do your research, find someone who's trained and certified and knows how to work with a postpartum depression or anxiety mom, someone that can give a lot of hand-holding and a lot of talking support so that the mom can feel really comfortable and confident to help their child sleep. Because if we can get the child sleeping, then the mother can have more potential to get help herself. But the steps for wellness for moms that are experiencing this is social support, talking about it, saying to your spouse and your family and your friends, I need help. Therapy and counseling, in some cases, medication, getting sleep, increasing nutrition, getting exercise. And what I mean by that is not necessarily the gym, but just getting out into the sunshine, taking a walk. A lot of moms that are really experiencing postpartum depression, anxiety are literally like, they never get out of the house. It's too much effort. It's too much overwhelm. With COVID, they're afraid of the germs, but in fact, them being sequestered inside is too isolating. And that can also impact and impound the feelings of depression and anxiety. And taking time off. And what I mean by that is, if you're asking for help from the dad or some friends or family so that you're not caretaking the baby all the time, you need a break. If you're experiencing this, you need a break. And, the people that can help you are your friends, your family. A postpartum doula can be amazing. I love postpartum doulas. They are life-changing partners in your life. So dads, if you're listening to this and you're wondering what to get your mom, the mother in your life for Mother's Day, and she's experiencing postpartum depression or anxiety, get her a sleep coach and a postpartum doula, and have those people support her over a course of about a month so that she can get back on her feet. That would be amazing. So just think about that. There's home visiting programs that you can find, and there's support groups because, again, you need support to get up and over this. And this is not something to suffer through and it will just magically disappear, unfortunately. So a couple of entities that you can go to for assistance is a website that I absolutely love, which is the bluedotproject.org. In fact, let me grab that for you guys and put that in the chat. This is an amazing resource. And then the National Women's Health Information Center, and that's womenshealth.gov. And there's a website called onetoughjob.org, which has great resources. And Postpartum Support International is postpartum.net. So postpartum.net. And I'm going to put that one down in here too. Because that is an amazing resource. So please, if anyone is listening to this and knows someone who's struggling, please share this video far and wide across your networks, because the month of May is Maternal Wellness Month, and I'm going to be talking about this topic multiple times throughout the month so that we can keep bringing awareness, taking away the stigma, offering resources for moms to get the help they need, helping moms not avoid getting the help and taking action, because we want a whole bunch of healthy, happy moms raising families and enjoying life. We don't want moms that are suffering. So with Mother's Day coming up, May 9th, I wish you all a beautiful, beautiful, wonderful Mother's Day. Take time to honor yourself and appreciate yourself for everything that you've done to bring a new life into this world. And I do hope that your family takes time to honor you and appreciate you. And, my last Facebook Live was all about some creative gifts that you could ask for, because sometimes new dads don't know what to get for Mother's Day beyond just the traditional flowers. And so you might want to check out my Facebook Live from last Wednesday, which was, last Wednesday was April 28th. I give you some really good ideas on the Newton mattress, as well as the, oh my gosh, I'm having a brain Oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing. But also, if you guys want to give the gift of sleep, wanted to let you know that I'm offering gift certificates now for sleep, so that if you want to give the gift of sleep to a friend, a baby shower, your spouse, this is definitely possible. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful Mother's Day, and thank you for listening to this important topic. Have a great day.